everybody, this is your girl Charlie B, and this is the Little Seed Grow channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you comment, share, like, and subscribe. I am new to YouTube, so any engagement that I get here, I'm very grateful for. I also want to take a quick second to say thank you so much to all the people who have subscribed to my channel, who have shared my videos, who have commented on my videos, who have found the Little Seed Grow channel. I'm so grateful. Again, my name is Charlie B. I am new to YouTube, so thank you so much for being here. From the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about sisterhood and friendships, and when you know that you're in a good friendship with other women and when you are in a toxic friendship with other women. I feel like this is a really good topic to get into. If you're like me and you kind of browse through YouTube, you see a lot of videos of women telling their story times or their trips from hell with their friends. And when they go on these trips, they really find out who their friends really are. And I really want to talk about this because I do feel like it is so important to channel and create barriers around yourself and create boundaries even within friendships. And I know sometimes that can be hard because a lot of us, if you're blessed enough, have had friendships since you were a little kid, and I feel like that's awesome. But sometimes we also struggle with creating boundaries with our friends and, you know, and knowing what's a real friend and what's not. So let's get into it. Let's talk about friendship. So when it comes to friendships between women, I feel like that's so powerful. When you can build a bond with someone who's not your blood, who is just a woman who claps for you, who can support you, who you can confide in, I feel like it's one of the most powerful bonds that you can create. I think it's so awesome to have great friends, to have supportive friends, to have friends who you have been, you know, around for years. I feel like, you know, when friendships are genuine and when they are watered in the right way, I feel like it's amazing. I feel like if you're always in friendships where it's violent or it's arguing or it's toxic or it's drama or it's gossip, you know, I feel like it's time to start to figure out why are you in those type of friendships, because I don't feel like those type of friendships are healthy. I want to say I feel like friendships can start to go left because let's be honest, if you're blessed enough, a lot of us have had friends that we met maybe, I don't know, in middle school, in elementary school, in college, in high school. And, you know, we met them when we were at a young age, when we didn't know ourselves, when we was ripping and running the streets, and we were all on the same level. But I feel like where a divide can come in is when you start to grow as women and your journeys start to take different paths. I feel like sometimes in your friendships, when you're kind of finding your own way, I feel like that's when cattiness can come in and competitiveness and entitlement can start to come in when your friends feel like you're doing your own thing without them. And I feel like that's the problem. I feel like as women, we have to understand that our friends are just that. They are our friends. They are not our property. We do not own them. They are free to go down the path that God has for them. And sometimes, you know, in friendships, we have to learn to take a step back and let our friends fly solo. And I feel like some friends can get very codependent on their friends, and sometimes in friendships, the other one may be very independent. And I feel like that can cause some breakdown. So I want to say this. We have to normalize giving our friends space. We have to normalize allowing our friends to be who they are and not want to hold our standards over their head and feel like at every beck and call they have to be there to be a good friend. And that's not always true. And I'm not saying that, you know, don't be there for your friends. But what I'm saying is sometimes we have unrealistic expectations on our friends. If you find yourself always arguing with your friends, beefing with your friends, falling out with your friends, gossiping about your friends, you know, I feel like that's when it's time to kind of take a step back, boo. But I really want to talk about this because women can be very catty, even in friendships. I feel like it's very dangerous if your friendships become violent, if they become one-sided, if your friends start to become entitled to you, I feel like it's time to kind of take a step back and reevaluate that friendship. And I have noticed in some friendships that your friends don't want to allow you to be who you are or to set boundaries. Meaning, when they call, they expect you to pick up. When they want you here, they expect you to be there. And when you say no, or if you don't answer that phone, sometimes your friends want to go ballistic because they feel like they own you. They feel like, they have rights to you. And I feel like as women, we have to normalize allowing our friends free space to take a step back from us, to be free to be who they are, because we don't always know what people are going through, and sometimes your friends need a break. And I'm just gonna be very transparent in this. I'm the type of friend who I can support you. I will be there for you, but sometimes I may not have the capacity for you. And I feel like in my friendships, sometimes my friends don't always they didn't understand that. They felt like, they want to sit on the phone all day and they expect me to be there. They want me to be here and be there, and I just didn't have the capacity to do it. And I feel like sometimes your friends want to hold that over your head and treat you as if you're their man and not their friend. And I feel like that's kind of what I want to talk about. I also want to talk about a couple of points here. The first one I kind of want to get into is allowing your friends to be in the phase and in the space that they're in. Meaning, you may be, I don't know, married with kids, and you might have a friend who's single and doesn't have children. So right, you're women on two different paths. Like I said, one can be married with kids, one is single with no kids. And sometimes the woman who has a lot of responsibility, like she's a wife, she's a mother, she has other responsibilities, she has to go to work, she has to put her family first, she's not in the streets anymore, she can't be on the phone all night, she can't go here, she can't go there. And sometimes your single friends can start to get mad at you or feel like you're being funny or you're not making time and you're not doing this and doing that, instead of understanding the position that you are now in as a woman, and support you in that position and understand, okay, my friend has a lot of responsibility. She's trying to do her big one. She got mouths to feed. She has a man. She has a job. She needs time to herself. She has family. She has all of these things. And I feel like sometimes, friends don't understand that. They want you to be here. They want you to be there. And when you can't, then they start to look at you as if you're not a good friend, instead of understanding the space that you're in your life and supporting you. And I feel like I have definitely seen that, and I have definitely experienced that. And like I said, I'm going to be very transparent in this video. I am a person who, I'm an extroverted introvert. I love to be around people. I'm very talkative. I can get along with anyone. But at the same time, I value my space. I value alone time. Like, I can be by myself. I don't have to go everywhere with my friends. There's times where I love solace. I am a lone wolf sometimes. Like, sometimes I want to be in my own energy. I want to clear my own head. I don't need a whole group of people to go do something that I want to do. That's just me. And sometimes I feel like, my friends don't like that, or they don't understand that. And sometimes, I might have to take a step back from them. Not because they did something, but that's just because how I am. Like I said, I'm a person who likes quiet. I'm a person who loves to steal away. I want to be in the presence of God. I want to clear my head. I need time for me. And I feel like that's very important to me. So I feel like if you're going to be my friend, then you have to understand that, okay, Charlie, sometimes, she likes to do her own thing. It's nothing against me. Let me pray for her from afar. Let me just check in on her. And that's cool. But again, sometimes your friends can be upset if that's how you are. Or sometimes your friends can get upset if you don't have time for them, or if you have a husband, or if you have children and you have other things going on and they're just not first on the list anymore, because now we're grown women with